Guitars might just be the coolest musical instruments. Sure, pianos are more classy and drums are more badass, but when it comes to coolness, nothing compares with a guitar. If you've ever tried buying a guitar, you probably know they can get pretty expensive. Good quality wood combined with great quality craftsmanship, and you're looking at a price of over $1,000 easy. $1,000 might sound like a lot until you take a look at just how much guitars are being sold for. Let's take a look at some of the priciest guitars. Number 1 is going to blow your mind, so remember to watch till the end. More of that in a second. Now, before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon as well so you can stay updated with our latest videos. Also, make sure to watch till the end so you don't miss anything. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Number 10. Bob Dylan's Newport Folk Festival, 1964 Fender Stratocaster. Bob Dylan's performance at the 1965 Newport Music Festival was a defining and career-changing moment for him. His shift from acoustic folk music to rock and roll shocked fans, and is noted by Rolling Stone magazine to be one of the most notable moments in music history. History was made on Bob Dylan's Newport Folk Festival 1964 Fender Stratocaster electric guitar, making it an invaluable reminder of how much the music industry has evolved. This guitar was sold at an auction to a private bidder for $965,000. Sure, that's expensive, but owning a relic of the past owned by the Bob Dylan, you can't really put a price tag on that. Number 9. Keith Richards' 1959 Les Paul. Keith Richards and the Rolling Stones are an iconic piece of music history. The Rolling Stones defined rock music for more than 6 decades and are regarded as the founders of the genre. They brought it into the mainstream, and their guitarist, Keith Richards, did it with the 1959 Les Paul. No one really knows how he got it, but according to some rumors, he traded a Gretsch County gentleman in late 1962 for it. The Les Paul has seen Keith Richards record some of the band's greatest hits on it, and for that, this guitar was sold for $1 million at a private auction. Number 8. 1958 Gibson Karina Explorer. Karina guitars are some of the most loved guitars in the world, and guitarists swear on just how good their sound quality is. A guitar store in London and a fan that loves guitars a little too much just made sure everyone knows how priceless Karina guitars are, and a $1.1 million purchase of a 1958 Gibson Karina Explorer was made. To be fair, the guitar does have historical significance and has been owned by the likes of Metallica's Kirk Hammett, Slash, and Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. It's vintage, and that's what makes the $1.1 million price tag worth it. Number 7. Bob Marley's Washburn 22 Series Hawk. Who can forget Bob Marley? The king of reggae, Bob Marley, is one of the most loved and respected musicians of all time, and his songs are still being played even 40 years after his death. You can get an idea of just how famous and loved Bob Marley still is by taking a look at the fact that his Washburn 22 Series Hawk guitar sold for $1.2 million. This guitar was used by the singer during his first international tour in 1979. This guitar was presented to Bob Marley by Yamaha when he went to Japan during his world tour. Even 4 decades after his death, the legend is still making headlines. Number 6. Jerry Garcia's Wolf. Grateful Dead fans are going to love this one. Jerry Garcia's Wolf doesn't need any introduction. The wolf logo at the base of the guitar, combined with the fact that it was one of Jerry Garcia's favorite guitars, means Grateful Dead fans can recognize this baby in a second. The guitar was made by luthier Doug Irwin, a person responsible for most of the Grateful Dead's high sound quality instruments. Jerry commissioned Doug to make the guitar, and just like Jerry, his fans loved it too. Jerry Garcia's Wolf sold for over $1.9 million at a 2017 auction. Number 5. Jimi Hendrix's 1968 Fender Stratocaster. The Fender Stratocaster is a guitar much loved by musicians. Especially during the 1960s, the Stratocaster could be seen in the hands of basically every guitarist you saw. One of those guitarists was Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix had a couple of guitars, but by far the most famous one is his Fender Stratocaster. The guitar was used at the Woodstock Festival on August 18, 1969, and became an icon right there and then. It was sold for $2 million to Paul Allen at the Experience Music Project in Seattle. Number 4. John Lennon's 1962 Gibson J160E Acoustic Electric, $2.4 million. John Lennon. Even if you don't know who he is, you've probably still heard his name. Why? Because he's just that famous. John Lennon defined an entire era of music, and his band, the Beatles, achieved worldwide fame. John Lennon did meet a tragic end, as he was shot and killed, but still his memory lives on. John Lennon's famous 1962 Gibson J160E acoustic electric guitar sold for $2.4 million. The guitar was previously thought to be lost, and after it resurfaced after nearly 5 decades, collectors couldn't empty their wallets fast enough to buy it. Number 3. Reach Out to Asia Fender Stratocaster, $2.7 million. The Reach Out to Asia was an iconic guitar sold at a charity auction in 2005 to raise funds for tsunami victims. The guitar wasn't really owned by anybody famous, but it does have something which no other guitar does. It's been signed by Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Eric Clapton, Brian May, Jimmy Page, David Gilmour, Jeff Beck, Pete Townsend, Mark Knopfler, Ray Davies, Liam Gallagher, Ronnie Wood, Tony Iommi, Angus and Malcolm Young, Paul McCartney, Sting, Ritchie Blackmore, Def Leppard, and Bryan Adams. Number 2. David Gilmour's Black Strat, $3,975,000. Billionaires aren't afraid to drop tons of cash to show their appreciation, and that's exactly what Indianapolis Colts owner and, more importantly, longtime Pink Floyd fan Jim Irsay did. He bought almost 25% of a $21.5 million Pink Floyd auction, including the infamous David Gilmour Black Strat guitar, for a record $3,975,000. Talk about fangirling. Number 1. Kurt Cobain's Martin, $6,010,000. In first place, we have Kurt Cobain's Martin, the most expensive guitar ever sold in the history of music. The Kurt Cobain Martin was famously played in Nirvana's historic 1993 performance, MTV Unplugged. Given its historic value and ties with none other than Nirvana itself, the guitar sold for a whopping $6,010,000. A true testament to just how good Nirvana is and how much its fans love it. Anyways, that was all for today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you did. Also, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to support us. And stay tuned. See you next time. Peace.